Hello guys and welcome to another CoinGlow video. In this video we've got quite a lot of topics to talk about. We've got possible security flaws in the Ledger Nano and an update was released for that. I'll talk about that soon. We've got countries and American cities putting their currency on the Ethereum blockchain or on other blockchains. One of the biggest e-commerce companies in the world partnering up with a blockchain company, and also PayPal might be getting into the cryptocurrency game. First off, let's speak about the new update which was just released for the Ledger Nano. Ledger has advised that everyone should download this update, the firmware update for the computer, the microcontroller unit, which is in your Ledger wallet. It not only brings some sort of added features which improve the user experience, but it also adds some very important security fixes. So first of all, you've got a blog post here. I'll put the link down in the description. Make sure you check it out for yourself, just in case after I post this video something is updated, or maybe there's another update, you never know. So let's go back to the update, which is the 1.4.1 firmware update, that if you log into your Ledger Manager on your PC, which is the Chrome app, it should be written at the bottom, as you can see here. Let me bring it up. When you open up your app, there'll be written new firmware available. You click firmwares here and it will tell you firmware version 1.4.1 brings several UX and user experience and security changes. And here's a summary of what you should expect from this update. Possibility to install more apps on device. So there were a lot of people that complained that they wanted to add other cryptocurrencies to their ledger, but they couldn't. So they always had to either delete the other coins and just to install a new one. But it seems like they listened and they added more apps, the ability to store more apps on the device. The second point is better screen lock management. If you hold one of the buttons for more than 3 seconds, it will lock the screen. So now you don't have to unplug it and replug it back in to lock the screen, just in case if you're in a public area or something like that and you don't want to disconnect your device. Full 24 words backup validation enforced. So it was always recommended previously that whenever you buy a new ledger and you're setting it up, first, obviously you write down your 24-word phrase. But then it was always advised that you clear out the ledger and type in that 24-word phrase again, just in case you wrote it down wrongly or something like that, and you send a test transaction to see if you received it, then you clear it and you go back on it again to make sure that you entered the right phrase. Now when you create a new ledger and you write it down, you'll be told to re-enter that backup that you wrote down, and it will tell you if you backed it up correctly or not. There were some other things such as improvements in like caching, which make the device faster. And also there'll be no more browser support options or settings. Now whenever you want to use either MyEther wallet or MyCrypto, or else just use the Ledger app that it gives you, there's no need to stay changing with settings to get the device to work with one or the other. Now you just plug and play with either of them. Now to talk about things that weren't said in this update release. So there was this guy, Salim Rashid, who's a security researcher. And he said that Ledger aren't emphasizing the fact that this is very important to update your device. This is the tweet that he posted. As one of the security researchers, I urge to update now. This article doesn't make it clear enough how dangerous this issue can be. Potential issues include compromised recovery seed generation or private key extraction. Recovery seed is your 24-word backup phrase, and private key is the thing that is needed to open up your wallet. So it's very important that these are not compromised. As you can imagine, after this tweet was posted, there was quite a lot of panic. People were scared, and it was being recommended that they replace their seed after updating their ledger. But as you can see here, the Ledger CEO responded to a thread about this thing on Reddit and said, "This is massive FUD. The security researcher in question is greatly exaggerating the criticality of the issue he found. I can't unfortunately go into the details," but then he goes into the details. "We have decided to share. The vulnerability reported requires physical access to the device before setup of the seed and installing a custom version of the firmware, installing a malware on the target's computer, and have him confirm a very specific transaction." So what he's saying here is that not only do you need to have physical access to the Ledger Nano, you need to have access to the user's PC, you need to have had access to the Ledger Nano before the seed was generated. And I'm pretty sure if someone wants to target you that badly, you have better things to worry about. He goes on and say a complete blog post will be available soon. The researcher then replies and says that he disagrees with what he's saying here, and in a few weeks' time he'll release a technical report. He does recommend that if you're really paranoid and you think this could have happened to you, you should just regenerate a new phrase and you'll be completely safe. Because in this new update 1.4.1, just remember that you have to be on 1.4.1 to be safe, to be completely safe, really. Another few things I want to point out is that at the moment, for the next few weeks, this update won't be required, it'll just be optional on the Ledger Manager, but after 2 weeks, you'll be forced and it'll be automatically installed on your device. And also, when you do this update, your seed won't be cleared. So once it's installed, you'll get your money immediately back and you don't need to stay entering your phrase again. Be sure that you have it saved and backed up after all. Now to the news about countries and cities using the Ethereum blockchain for their currency. Brazilian state bank to tokenize Brazilian real on Ethereum's public blockchain. So the Brazilian National Bank has decided that for certain loan situations, it's going to issue, instead of issuing actual currency, it will give out tokens which are on the Ethereum blockchain so that it can sort of audit and know where the money that they're giving out is being used and where it's going. Any Brazilian can see the companies involved in the transaction and the transactions carried out. Borrowers from the State Development Bank and those given grants will receive ERC20 Ethereum tokens, called the BNDES token, each fixed at the value of 1 real, with the tokens being redeemable at will at the State Bank. They go on and say that even though this is a new technology and they're spending money to implement this new technology, in the long run they know that this money will go to better use because the clients have more accountability, as they say, if everything is traceable. It's currently just in a proof of concept, which will last until May, and depending on the results of that, they will go ahead and use it in real life scenarios. The same thing is going to be done in Berkeley, which is a major California city, and as it says here, could become the first to create its own Bitcoin-inspired currency. On the other hand though, they want to launch an ICO which will be used to raise funds for affordable housing. And then this token can be used in shops and spendable in the city itself. They said that this arose due to Donald Trump targeting such cities, which are known as sanctuary cities, and threatened them to cut federal funding. And so to reduce their reliance on funding from the government, they said, okay, let's create an ICO and ride the cryptocurrency hype. The goal is to raise funding for vital city projects like affordable housing and support services for the city's growing homeless population. Someday, homeless people might receive tokens to buy goods and services from local businesses that accept the currency according to city leaders. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, for example, if this will be done on the Ethereum blockchain. Hopefully we'll hear more from this soon, because it seems like they've got quite a lot of plans in the making.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Next up in the news, another blockchain called Walton Chain seems to have partnered up with Alibaba, which is the third most popular e-commerce site in the world, and also Smart City Founders. Walton Chain was in the news recently for having a giveaway, and then their own Twitter posted out a thank you for winning that giveaway. So it was quite a confusing situation there. This is a screenshot of the tweet. There are quite a lot of conspiracies around this, and the value of Walton Chain dropped by a lot. So maybe this is just hype news just to recover their reputation, I don't know. But what they say is that this partnership focuses on promotion of their technology to achieve municipal and commercial IoT coverage, because what Walton Chain are trying to do is being an Internet of Things blockchain where small devices, your kitchen, your fridge, cars, they all speak to each other and they try to do communication or like micro payments on the blockchain. Establishment of new smart cities in these 2 cities that I won't pronounce. Construction of smart city schemes and their application. Resource allocation optimization and achievement of smart resource allocation through the blockchain and IoT technology. That's all the buzzwords, but okay. And now for the final news. One of the biggest payment gateways in the world, PayPal, filed a patent related to cryptocurrencies. What they called it is an expedited virtual currency transaction system. It seems like they have a problem with transaction time on the blockchain. So what they proposed is a way how you can, instead of transferring actual tokens between account to account, here what they say is that they want a way to transfer private keys. So what you're doing is, instead of transferring actual money, you're transferring wallets from person to person. Now I don't understand how that's going to work, because okay, let's not transfer money, but we're going to transfer private keys. What's the difference there? How are we going to securely transfer private keys within the hundreds of thousands transactions per second? Here is their abstract. The link will be in the description. Again, a summary of the abstract of this patent, which you should read yourself because it's quite understandable, even though it's lawyer speak and technical speak at the same time, so it's actually very complicated if you take a look at the rest of the patent. What they want to do is have a normal cryptocurrency system where you have a public key and a private key. But then there are also secondary wallets which have a predefined amount of currency, I guess. For example, maybe you'll have a $1 wallet, which always remains $1. And then you have a $5 wallet, which will always be $5. And the users trade these wallets as sort of currencies. And what they'll be doing is trading the private keys of these wallets, which means that the users cannot know the private keys, because otherwise you just steal other people's money if you previously owned that wallet and you know it's private key. So probably this is a way how PayPal will store the private keys itself. It will not show the users the private keys. It's very interesting to see that PayPal knows the impact of this cryptocurrency and blockchain technology on their business and the possibility of these cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the others who are trying to be a replacement of PayPal. And this could be an acknowledgement of them knowing that it's a threat to their business. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Just remember that this video was for informational purposes only, and anything I said was my opinion. Anything upon uploading this video might have changed, so always do your own research and tread at your own risk. I'm not a financial advisor or any legal professional, so obviously do your own research, whatever you do. If you like this video, make sure to check out my channel where I've got many other videos similar to this one and more to come in the future. Hit like if you like the video and also subscribe for more. But that's it, and I'll see you in the next video.